ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ Verse 97. अस्तु बोधो परोक्षोऽत्र महावाक्यात् तथाप्यसौ न दृढश्रवणादीनाम् आचार्यैः पुनरीरणात्. So with verse 97, Vidyaranya has completed this Mahavakya Vichara and established that Mahavakya Vichara is capable of giving a Paroksha Jnana. So if proper Shravanam of Mahavakya is done, person will gain knowledge, direct knowledge of that I am Brahman. Then now from verse 97, Vidyaranya enters into another topic. He says, even after gaining a Paroksha Jnanam through Shravan Mananam, person is not able to get this phalam of Jnanam. Phalam of Jnanam means basically, reduction in all different unwanted emotions in the mind, including fear. So, when ignorance is there, the frequency of these reactions, intensity of the reaction, like let's say anger, frequently getting angry. And getting angry is one thing, but getting angry to such a high intensity. So all these things, generally it is all product of ignorance. So if you gain jnanam, that I am Brahman, I am full and complete, I am asangaha, and therefore no situation can touch me, etc., etc. In that case, then reactions will not be powerful. Frequency also gets, decreased, and intensity of the reactions also decreases and everything. And you can recover faster from suppose in case even if one has got angry, but one can recover faster. This is all at the level of a mind, I am saying. These are the benefits of the knowledge. Of course, centered on oneself, you don't feel any lack. There is a very big thing. In fact, that is centered on oneself. If you cannot accept yourself, all issues will come. All issues. It can go to any extent. All psychological problems also can arise. So, acceptance of oneself is very important, and that is only possible when you see the self as full, adequate. Then you accept. Inadequate self I cannot accept. So the jnani well definitely knows I am adequate. So in spite of limitations, I am limitless. Yeah, in spite of limitations on the body mind sense complex, well, I am limitless. That is his jnana. So that is called phalam. So even after gaining a paroksha jnanam, he has understood Mahavakya. clearly, and if you have understood Mahavakya clearly, means aparoksha jnanam is there. I am Brahman. Still, person is not able to gain phalam. And well, what are the obstacles, etc.? That is what now under discussion. And normally, cause should produce effect. So, jnanam should produce its effect, jnana phalam. But jnanam does not fructify into mukti. Well, then, I mean, even the cause is there, jnanam is there, effect is not there. Then one thing is only possible, and that is there is some obstacle in the mind which does not allow the jnanam which is present in the mind, which does not allow to give its fruit. And we gave an example, last time when the tube light burns, well, there must, the darkness must go. If it doesn't go, then definitely the tube light is covered with some obstacle. So here tube light means in our case it is knowledge, aparoksha jnana. So if person comes to Vedanta after sadhan chatushtaya sampatti, then these obstacles won't be there. Well, so light is to switch on and darkness should go away. Like that, this jnanam arises in the mind, clarity. Clarity grows. Because somebody asked me, if jnanam, so if you have understood Mahavakya, means you have jnanam, then why jnana phalam is not there? Well, that's true, but then jnanam grows in clarity. And as it grows in clarity, the obstacles are diminishing. So that is what Puja Swami is to tell. So jnanam, the clarity in the jnanam comes slowly with the repeated shravanam. Keep shravanam and repeat it. Then this will definitely, and that is called aparoksha jnanam. Then you can say, I have aparoksha jnanam. I have understood Mahavakya thoroughly, etc. So then these obstacles won't be there if sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, etc. is there. So then no time gap between light is switched on and darkness goes away. There is no time gap. If we know this in Kenopanishad, one student said very nicely, Naham mannesu vedeti, nona vedeti vedacha, yonas tadveda tadveda, nona vedeti vedacha. Right? So, Naham mannesu vedeti. I don't say I know the Brahman very well, but I don't say that I don't know Brahman also. Therefore, because I don't know the Brahman as an object. As this object is clear to me, in front of me, well, right, contact, sense organs contact them, and then how it is clear. Same way, well, I can't say that I know Brahman like that, because it is not an object. But at the same time, I won't say that I don't know Brahman also, because I know it as a subject. Means if I do not know it as a subject, and yet I am claiming that I know Brahman, means I know it as a subject. How nicely he said. There is one student in Kenopanishad. Another student also is there, that you know very well, who comes after whole classes were over. And then he said, well, to the teacher, so Upanishadam Bho Bruhi. Then teacher got literally shocked. Upanishadam Bho Bruhi. After whole Upanishad was over, the student is telling, oh Bhagavan, please teach me Upanishad. And then and teacher said Upanishadam Bruta. What we have said till this point is Upanishad. Where were you? So iti ukta Upanishad, etc. Anyway, so this is how. So in one student's mind there are a lot of obstacles. In other student's mind there are no obstacles. That's how he very boldly declared. Yonas tadveda, nona vedeti vedacha. Whoever understands my statement, he also knows Brahman. What is the statement I made? That I don't say I know clearly Brahman. At the same time, I don't say that I don't know Brahman. This statement is understood in this class by anybody. He also knows Brahman very well. You imagine. So, what a clarity he has. So, this is a aparoksha jnana. And this clarity grows in time. As sadhana chatushtaya sampatti increases, then this clarity grows. So, even though jnanam is there, but jnana phalam is not there because of the lack of sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. More sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, less obstacles, and then jnanam also becomes, it gives you mukti, jnana phalam. So if jnanam does not produce phalam, then it is because of a pratibandha, and that's how we said it as a sapratibandhaka aparoksha jnanam. Another word used is a adhrida jnanam. So those people, sapratibandhaka aparoksha jnanam is adhrida jnanam. Dhrida means a firm knowledge. Adhrida, not firm, feeble knowledge. Anyway, so those people, such a people who do not have this, who have adhrida jnanam, etc., they require separate efforts. Efforts not for jnanam or moksha. Jnanam alone is called moksha actually, but effort for removing obstacles. Then this adhrida jnanam becomes dhrida jnanam. And since obstacles are many and very well and goes gradually, so this conversion from adhrida jnanam to dhrida jnanam, or sapratibandhaka aparoksha jnanam to apratibandhaka aparoksha jnanam, is not a sudden process because it takes time. So since obstacles also recedes slowly, jnanam becomes firm. And they give an example, a very beautiful example. I think it is there in Atma Bodha also. When sunlight, recedes on a Purnima day, then moonlight becomes brighter. That's how it is. So not as suddenly moonlight comes. It's a gradual process. So as the sun sets and becomes dark, the darkness appears slowly, while the moonlight becomes brighter. So as the obstacles recede slowly, the clarity in the knowledge grows, and so then such a aparoksha jnanam gives phalam. Aparoksha jnanam means I am Brahman, means I am free. Then it should have given this phalam that I am free, moksha, in the beginning itself, but it did not give because of the obstacles present. So we should not expect suddenly a change. That's how many people sometimes they what happens, seekers have a lot of concern actually. Seekers feel that now the time is running, and whether again I will get this human life and the teachers and this setup and all this, whether I get it or not, I don't know. And therefore, before I leave the body, let me just gain this knowledge. Let me just gain this knowledge. So, but we should have a Shraddha in Ishvara that he has told you very clearly in a 6th chapter that you should not worry about. I give a proper place even if you have not completed this, etc. So nothing to worry. But this is generally happening. A lot of anxiety comes. Actually, Jnanam should resolve anxiety. Instead, Jnanam creates anxiety. More you study, more you feel that you should gain this moksha immediately, somehow. And this growing clarity or receding the obstacles take time. And other group of people are there. They feel this self-realization, right? You realize the self that it is Brahman, etc. So this self-realization is a sudden, jerky, and explosive process. Means suddenly one day self-illuminating Brahman, appear in your mind, and there is a dazzling light, etc. or something, that kind of a thing. So that is also not going to happen. So, it's not so. You understand Vedanta as you get clarity, and knowledge becomes brighter. So we can't pinpoint a time of realization, etc. Anyway, so from verse 97 to 134, conversion of this adhrida jnanam to dhrida jnanam. So sometime you may see the word sadhrida jnanam, sometime you see the word dhrida jnanam. It is same. It is same. So, but adhrida means feeble. So with a lot of obstacles, and dhrida jnana means removal of obstacles. Now in verse 97, Vidyaranya gave this introduction. Mahavakyat aparoksha bodha astu tathapi na dradaha bhavati. Mahavakyat aparoksha bodha astu. He never says that Atma is Brahman. He says, I am Brahman, that's clear. I am Brahman. Well, then why he says Jnana Phalam is not there? Because that he behaves like that he is still bound. Even after saying I am Brahman. So Brahman is free, therefore I am free. No time limit bound, no limitation of space, no limitation of any object, because Brahman pervades everything, as a very essence of every object, and therefore, well, there is no object-wise any limitation also. And therefore, well, such a clarity is there. Yet he says, well, I am bound, I am jiva, etc., etc. I am not free, I am dependent, this, that, I am having a lot of fear. So therefore obstacles are there. So Mahavakyat aparoksha bodha astu. Let the aparoksha bodha be there through Mahavakya. Tathapi na dhradaha bhavati. And Shankaracharya tells in Vakyavritti also. Acharyehi, well, Shravanadinam punaha iranat. Well, you continue. Well, you continue Shravanam well, followed by Mananam and Nididhyasanam. First Shravanam is for gaining knowledge. Till the person feels that I'm getting a clarity in terms of this knowledge. Now, well, I am listening, I feel it is quite new to me, all these things. Then, still he has not acquired a paroksha jnana. So initial Shravanam is like that. And then later Shravanam, well, is for removing pratibandha. So generally we say what, and pratibandhas are going through Shravanam. How can you say? Well, the person says what, he says to teacher that you are growing in clarity. That is the thing. He says, Swamiji, now you have got a tremendous clarity of this. He doesn't understand that he has gained clarity. He says to the teacher, that's the height of it. Means now my pratibandhas are going. No teacher can claim that he is the best teacher, honestly speaking. So because the person gains a maturity during Shravanam, and then he suddenly tells to one particular teacher that, well, in your class I got clarity, but it is not really speaking so. You have acquired a lot of clarity in Shravanam, and continuation of the Shravanam, well, ultimately makes the thing clear, and some teachers' teaching becomes just a nimitta for that. Anyway, so Shravanadinam punaha iranat, punaha, even after completing first Shravanam for gaining aparoksha jnanam, later Shravanam, punaha iranat. So, and iranat I have already told you that basically iranat means told. So, acharya hi iranat. So, by different acharyas this was told that later Shravanam becomes for a prati. Punaha Shravanam means later Shravanam becomes for pratibandha nivritti. And what are the pratibandhas we discussed? And unfortunately I have to discuss today because it is coming in the verse. But I will try to discuss little differently today. Anyway, so pramana asambhavana, prameya asambhavana and viparita bhavana. And where has he told Acharya hi iranat? Where Acharya has told that later Shravanam becomes all this pratibandha nivritti and for pratibandha nivritti? Well, in Vakyavritti it is there. And the verse number 98. 98 means in that it is 49. Aham brahmeti vakyartha bodho yavadridi bhaved shamadhi sahitastavat abhyaset shravanadikam. And this Shravanamanam, Nididhyasanam, etc. has been told in the Upanishad, Atma Vare Drashtavya, you know very well. So, because that will also become Atma Vare Drashtavya means one should gain a aparoksha jnanam of a Atma by Shravanam, Shrotavya, Mantavya, Nididhyasitavya. That is by Yajnavalkya to Maitreyi. And that particular samvada occurs at two places in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, by the way. So, one is second chapter, fourth Brahmana, and fourth chapter, fifth Brahmana. Both are Maitreyi Brahmana actually, where Yajnavalkya talks to Maitreyi. And in both, almost similar. The mantras are there with a little difference here and there. So that is there. Atma Vare Drishtave, one should gain aparoksha jnanam of Atma. For that one, what should we do? Shravanam, Mananam, Nidhyasanam. So Acharyahi Shravanadinam Punaha Iranat. Well, Acharya has told about this Shravanadinam Punaha Iranat. Well, Punaha Shravanam means again for Pratibandhani. And verse 98, where Acharya has told this, so Vidyaranya quotes in verse number 49 from Vakyavritti. What is that? So aham brahmeti vakyartha bodho diyavad dhridi bhavet and shamadhi sahitas tavat abhyaset shravanadikam abhyaset. So even after completing one round of shravanam, well, students should repeat again. Abhyaset means repetition, exercise, repetition, abhyasa. So even after completing, well, first round of shravanam, first round means where you should gain a clear knowledge, aparoksha jnanam. Well, again, then he should repeat it. Adi padat you should take mananam and nididhyasam. Shravanadikam abhyaset. Shravana, mananam, nididhyasanam should be repeated again and again in order to remove obstacles, so that aparoksha jnanam which is there in his mind will give phalam. And but this is how a person can do like that, constantly listening and mananam and nididhyasanam. We have a lot of things to do, Swamiji. It's not like you, we are just not sitting in the room. So, well, for sannyasi it is okay. Asuptehe, amrutehe, kalam nayet vedanta chintaya. Also, asuptehe, till you go to sleep. Amrutehe, till the death comes. Nayet, kalam nayet, spend time. Vedanta chintaya. So, well, dwelling upon this Vedanta, dwelling upon this jnanam. So, it is good for sannyasi. And what about grihasthas, etc.? So, well, grihasthas also can do with the CDs and WhatsApps, classes and everything. So, be in touch with the classes or Shastra, etc. So, he adds that important note here. One thing he is adding, the condition by which either a grihastha or a sannyasi, frankly speaking, today in modern society, there is no pure sannyasi. I mean, there is no real sannyasi and there is no real grihastha. Therefore, the division which was there in Veda, then all this your varnashram dharma you have followed and everything is over, and now, well, you have gained in maturity, etc., by following all these dharmas, etc., and karma yoga, etc. So ragadveshas have gone, mind is mature. Now your mind is just for the study. It wants to study now, and therefore, well, go to the teacher, surrender to him, and he will give you sannyasa. And those things are not there. Not there. Modern sannyasi means what? Sannyasi means a parivrajaka. He should not be there for a day. He should not be more than a day in a one place. Now, like me, since 1 year I am in a one place. Where is this? Where is this sannyasi? Real sannyasi is not there, really. Vedic sannyasi is not there. Veda says so he should not remain at one place, because he may develop attachment to a particular place. So he should move. Parivrajaka. Parivrajati iti parivrajaka. Continuously. Paritaha vrajati. Paritaha. Keep moving and moving and moving. Well, so no real sannyasi now. No real grihastha also. Why? Grihastha means, well, he does all varnashram dharma and follows all the duties and doing nitya nimittik karmas, agnihotra and sandhyavandanam, and it doesn't leave for a day also. Where is that? Other than knowing the name Sandhyavandanam, where is Sandhyavandanam in anybody's life? So no real grihastha. I mean, the grihastha is not performed varnashram dharma itself, then where is a question of formally renouncing the karmas? If the dharma itself is not there in one's life, where is a question of giving up? What is not there, where is a question of giving up? And therefore, basically, that's not correct. Therefore, real sannyasi is also not there, real grihastha also is not there. And therefore, some other third method is required, basically, to gain this knowledge. And so, in which well, grihastha can remain grihastha, and yet they can gain jnana without really formally taking sannyasa. And sannyasi also, let him be a sannyasi by punya or whatever. But he should also observe these four things, reduction of four things in his life. Grihastha or sannyasi, modern grihastha, modern sannyasi, both should observe reduction of four things. Possessions and properties and something. All these four things are there. So those things have to be reduced. Which I think I discussed in Naishkarmi Siddhi. So if this reduction of four things are there, then definitely just see, possessions are there. Tremendous concern in a grihastha. What will I do with this possession? What is happening? How will I manage them? This, that, etc. Continuous. So keeping the possessions minimum, everything else to be given to their sons and daughters and whatever. Because if they are there, concern in the mind will remain. And therefore, this total commitment to knowledge will not come. And that will not come, the clarity will not grow. Means obstacle will not go. So, on one side, we are gaining jnana. And then, on the other hand, you are saying that, well, it is not giving phalam. So, this is the issue. So, mind where we gain knowledge should be free from concerns. And concerns regarding four things are there. So, that has to reduce. Anyway. So, here it says, grihastha or a sannyasi, well, definitely, he to gain a phalam of this knowledge, even though aparoksha jnanam is there, he should have a shamadhi sahitam. You just see, important note he adds, shamadhi sahitas tavat abhyaset, shravanadikam abhyaset, repeat shravanam, etc., but shamadhi sahit, shamadama, etc. In sadhan chatushte sampatti should be retained. Sadhan chatushte sampatti is for adhikaritvam. Then definitely, once I am adhikari, I should gain knowledge. I should not bother about now sadhan chatushte sampatti. No, but that will not be the case. You have to maintain sadhan chatushte sampatti, and especially you have to maintain shamadhi shatka sampatti. In nididhyasanam, it is very important. Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, those sadhan chatushte sampatti of a tattvabodha, one should revise again and again and again and again till one gains a nishtha. So that is very important. Because our mind, all the time to keep it free from all types of concerns and with a total focus and commitment to this thing should be all the time practiced, Shama, Dama, etc. Shama is actually, we have discussed at several places, but this is what here he also says. Shamadhi sahitas tavat abhyaset. Along with Shama, Dama, etc., Shravanadikam abhyaset. Do Shravanam. Otherwise, obstacle will not go. Means I'm listening again and again. I have gained clarity. I know I have aparoksha jnanam, I am Brahman. But I don't have a phalam. And therefore, well, I will listen again, no problem. I will listen again, no problem, Saji. I like it very much. Shamadhi Sahita. Otherwise, obstacle will not go. That's what he says. But Swamiji, what about the Shravanam itself gives this Sadhan Chatushte Sampatti? That's possible. But to an extent. Especially, the Vairagyam grows slowly. Now you don't need Viveka. That's how I'm talking about Samadhi Satka Sampatti. You don't need Mumukshutva. Because it's already there. So Mumukshutvam is there. That's how you have pursued this knowledge. Viveka, Purushartha Viveka, Moksha alone is a Purushartha. Between Artha and Moksha, I really want Moksha. Between Kama and Moksha, I want Moksha. All these things is not required now, gone. Vairagam also you need not have to, bother about. So Samadhi Sarka Sampatti. And if you keep on listening, Vairagam automatically grows. If you are listening, etc., to the scriptures, etc., with a certain clarity, etc., then definitely Vairagam grows. So about Vairagam also we should not have to worry. But Samadhi Satka Sampatti, one has to strive to maintain them. Because Titiksha goes away. You will see that. Shitoshna Sukha Dukkheshu, right? All this Agamapai and all. We lose sometimes that coolness, When certain situation comes, we feel this is too much. We become more reactive also. And then this mind cannot remain focused. And our old vasanas are there. Sometimes they basically make you, fall into objects, sense objects. You may wonder sometimes that now you are on this path and everything, and how come this temptation of this object can come? But we wonder, it arises in mind. So that shows that one has to be very alert about this Shamadama, Uparama, Titiksha, etc. That is for sure. If we maintain it during Shravanam and then later also in Nididhyasanam especially, then definitely obstacles to that Aparoksha Jnanam will go. So that is what he said. Samadhi Sahitas Tavat Abhyaset Shravanadikam. So Aham Brahmeti Vakyartha Bodho Yavat Dhridi Bhavet. Yavat Bodha Dhridi Bhavet. Until it becomes so natural. Till that point. Means don't forget this Samadhi Satka Sampatti. Means till you gain Apratibandha Jnanam. Brahmi Sthiti, Bhagavan says. Brahmi Sthiti. Brahmi Sthiti means Aham Brahma. It is very natural to him. Aham Brahma is natural. He need not have to say. He knows he is Brahman. He has not to remind himself that he is Brahman. That is a natural. That is Sthiti. Nitaram Sthiti means this. I need not. See, I don't remind right now to myself that I am human being, I am human being, I am human being, I am human being. So, like that. This is called Apratibandhaka Jnana, Dhrida Jnana. Till that point, till you really feel that, you know that till this point, Samadhi Sampatti one should maintain so that the obstacles will go away in the Shravanam itself. In the Shravanam means that later Shravanam, obstacles, if you don't want obstacles in the later Shravanam, maintain this Samadhi Satka Sampatti. Okay. Verse 99. Bādam santi hyadardyasya etavashrutyanekata asambhavyatvamarthasya viparita cha bhavana. So there are three powerful obstacles. Hetavaha means here, which are the causes to make the knowledge feeble or to keep the knowledge remains feeble. For that there are three reasons. That's what it means. Hetavaha means reason. Reason for the feeble knowledge. So adardyasya hetavaha. Not to dardyasya. Adardyasya. So for that feebleness in the knowledge, inefficiency of the knowledge, definitely, or weakness of the knowledge. Adardyam means weakness. Weakness in the knowledge is due to these three reasons. So that we don't get a phalam. And phalam is Jivan Mukti again, because I need not have to say that. Jivan Mukti alone is a phalam. So a Jivan Mukti, description in Bhagavad Gita like a Sthita Prajna's action and I think in chapter 13 also little bit discussion. Or even in chapter 12, verse 13 onwards, 13 to 20 or something. In 13th chapter also it is there. In 14th chapter also it is there. By the way, I don't remember right now verses. And in verse 2nd chapter it is from 54 to 72, etc. All this is a Jivan Mukta's description, Jnani's description. And that Jivan Mukta's description, if I feel that it is a description of somebody else, means Pratibandha is there. I am a Vedantin, and Mahavakya analysis I have done several times, and I can even talk to about this Taptamasi etc. for a whole week, suppose. And I feel that the description of the wise person of or Jivan Mukta is of somebody else. It's not of me. Its Pratibandha is there. Clear. That's what it is. I'm showing certain characteristic by which we can pinpoint that the Pratibandha is there or not. So this is what it is said here. So Badham definitely Shruti Anekata. So so that says that. So if you feel that the description of Jivanukta etc. is of somebody else, then definitely there is a presence of a Pratibandha. Shruti Anekata. So one obstacle comes because of different types of Vedic statements. Anekata, Shruti Anekata. So basically, we'll see little differently, which means, definitely, when someone analyzes this Shastra, what happens is one comes up with a different purport. Other Acharya, studies this same Shastra, comes out with a different purport. Third Acharya comes out with a different purport. And therefore, that creates a doubt in my mind. And there are many statements like that which create a doubt. Dvasuparna Sayuja Sakhayo Samanam Vruksham Parishasvajate. So while there are two really entities and two conscious beings, Dvasuparna Sayuja, like comparing with the two birds. One is Abhokta and one is Bhokta and etc. Abhokta is Ishvara, Bhokta is this Jiva. So on the other side, there are certain statements which says Taptamasi etc. Mahavakya, which says Jiva is Brahman. Dvasuparna etc. says Jiva and Brahman are different. And Mamaiva Amsho Jiva Loke, Jiva is a Amsha of a Brahman etc. That is Vishishtadvaita. So all are there. Dvasuparna Dvaita Darshan. Tattvamasi Advaita Darshan. Mamaiva Amsho Jiva Loke, this Jiva is my Amsha, part of me. Vishishtadvaita. I am whole, and all the jivas are my part. So in a Shastra, Prasthanatraya, but Prasthanatraya, what is the purport of Prasthanatraya? All types of Vakyas are there, really speaking. Therefore, Dvaita Vakyani, Vishishta Dvaita Vakyani, in fact, Antaryami Brahmana also has that kind of a Vakya. Ya Atmani Tishtan Atmanaha Antaraha, etc., etc. If you really translate like that, you will not say I am Atma, means I am Brahman. Whole Antaryami Brahmana. Whole. This Antaryami is present in Atma. So Atma means Jivatma. And this Antaryami Ishvara. Ishvara is present as a controller in this Jiva. Imagine. So where is question of Jiva and Ishvara are one? Ishvara has been depicted as an Antasan Yamayati. He is the one who is an inner controller of womb. Or something, it's an inner controller of a body. No. Atmani Tishtan stays in that Jivatma and controls Jivatma. So there is a controlled relationship, clear relationship between Jiva and Ishvara. Where is the question of oneness? Upanishad says that, and the whole section. This is how it is. And therefore, the source book do not convey, appears. Source book Upanishad, do not convey Advaita. That's the thing. And therefore, I have a doubt for source book, Pramana Sambhavana. So last time we discussed, so we have to add something here and there and make it little different. So I can make only dishes with a little difference. I don't know much. Okay? And therefore, so basically, so Jivatma is Amsha, this is that, etc. Anyway. So am I different from the God? Am I a part of the God? Am I God? Etc. etc. All this. Books and books, my God. Books and books are written on Vishishta Advaita. Books and books and books are written on this Dvaita Darshanam, Madhvacharya. And books and books and books are written on Advaita Darshanam, Acharya or Shankaracharya. Anyway, so we don't know what is teaching, and this is a obstacle. This is one type of obstacle. So we call it as an internal contradiction in the Vedic statements itself. So many seemingly well contradictory statements. What is that? This is one type of dosha. That he says, Shruti Anekata. Means there is an Anekata, there is manyness in terms of a Tatparya in the Shruti. So that is Pramana Sambhavana. Then says, Arthasya Asambhavyatvam. This is more serious actually. Artha means an object. Object here it means a prameya, object of knowledge. Prameya Sambhavyatvam. So, even though I have clearly understood that while Upanishad teaches Advaitam, I think I talked to you perhaps about this from a Chandogya, right? I think. Did I talk to you that how do you arrive at Advaita Darshanam from Upanishad? I don't know whether I talked to you or not. But anyway, let me give you a little gist of that. As such, this oneness has been talked in many places. In Kathopanishad also it is there. You have to find it out. And so to arrive at the purport of the source book, Upanishad, whether it is Dvaita Darshanam, Vishishta Advaita Darshanam or Advaita Darshanam, there are 6 lingas which we use, right? And Upakrama Upasamharo Abhyaso Apurvata Phalam Arthavadopapattisya Lingam Tatparya Nirnaya. So, first linga, first indicator by which I can arrive at the purport of the Upanishad is Upakrama and Upasamhara. Upakrama and Upasamhara means what is in the beginning and what is in the end. If what is in the beginning, if I can understand it as Advaitam, and at the end also, well, Upanishad talks about Advaitam, means Advaitam is a purport. That is one. And it is. It talks. And we have a standard example from Chandogya. Sadeva Somedam Agra Asit Ekameva Advitiyam. So Sadeva Somedam Agra Asit Ekameva Advitiyam. So this whole creation was Sat before. Means this creation has come from the Sat. It is a material cause. Then right now also it is what? Sat. Idam Sat Asit. When you see the pot and you say this pot was clay before, means right now also what? It is clay. Anyway, and therefore Anekameva Advitiyam again. There is one without second. Advaitam. There was Sat alone, and right now also we are seeing Sat alone. Means there is nothing other than Sat. There is nothing other than Brahman. Means so-called Jiva is not there. Or else Jiva is there, but then if Jiva is also looked upon as a Sat, then definitely there is really no difference between Jiva and Sat or Jiva and Brahman. And this is a beginning statement. At the end also the same thing. Aitadatma vidagum sarvam saatma tattvamasi shvetaketu. Aitadatma vidagum sarvam. Idagum sarvam. Idam sarvam. Etadatma. Everything is, Etadatma means what, Everything has its essence in Atma. That's what it means. Idam sarvam etadatma. Means everything in the creation, whatever you pick up, its essence is Atma alone. The truth is Atma alone. Means there is no Dvaitam. If everything is Atma, right? Everything is Atma, means what? There is no Dvaitam. Anyway, therefore, and then again, further, that is one thing. Advaita Darshanam is there, but then further, well, Sa Atma. Aitadatma Vidagum Sarvam, Sa Atma. That is the Atma of everything. And Tattvamasi. See? That Brahman, which is the essence of everything, which is the Atma, and that Atma means you. So Advaitam, clear? The Jiva is told, you are that Sat, you are that very essence of the creation, you are that Sat, which is the cause of the creation. Essence of the creation means cause of the creation, material cause of the creation. Material cause alone is the Atma of everything. Whenever word Atma comes, you should replace with the material cause. Any material cause is the Atma of a given effect. That's it. Because you won't find anything other than that. That's how it is. Anyway, so clear Advaita Darshanam by just one linga, one indicator. Upakrama, Upasamhara. Revealed Advaita. Upakrama, Upasamharo, Abhyasa. Abhyasa. Abhyasa is everywhere. Ekas tatha sarva bhutantaratma. Ekas tatha sarva bhutantaratma. Kathopanishad. Ekas tatha sarva bhutantaratma. Oh, he is a one alone. And sarva bhuta antaratma. Well, so he is antaratma of all the jivas. So basically, a jiva is Brahman, which is one alone. If you see the jivas are appearing many, but ekaha and antaratma, that is the inner self. That's the truth of the jiva. Sarva bhuta antaratma. While talking about, Vimraja was talking about, the sun and the Vayu and Agni and etc. And he was saying like this, Ekas tatha sarva bhuta antaratma, Ekas tatha sarva bhuta antaratma. Repeating. Saying Advaitam is there. Jiva is Brahman. So there also in Kathopanishad. And Chandogya, of course, 9 times. Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi. Okay, that is there. Then Abhyasa Apurvata. Na purvam vidyate iti apurvam. And therefore, this is a darshanam, Advaita darshanam, which we have never come across. Yeah. That is unique. Apurvata means uniqueness. So, Shastra is a pramana, should serve something unique. Every pramana has to cater unique data. Eyes, unique, only colors and forms. And ears, well, only sounds. No other pramana can do. Well, so that way Shastra also, if it is a pramana, it should cater to a unique vision. It should give me a knowledge which I have never come across before. That's what it means. And that is Advaita. Because Pratyaksha is given to me, but it reveals Dvaitam. Yeah. And therefore, Advaitam, that I have never come across. So, Shastra cannot talk about Dvaitam because that is not Apurvam. That's what I want to convey. So, Apurvam means that's an indicator to arrive at the purport of the Shastra. So, Shastra should talk something Apurvam, and that is their purport. It's a pramana, and therefore it should serve it should maintain its status. If Shastra talks about, rain, and Shastra talks about a clarified butter, and Shastra talks about wood using for this ritual, what is this? We say, for this purpose only I have devoting my time? Knowing wood and knowing clarified butter and everything? So basically, here this indicates Shastra should serve something unique, and Advaita means non-duality is unique, and therefore that must be the purport of the Shastra. Abhyasa Apurvata. Phalam means, whatever may be the purport of the Shastra, and the Shastra is interested that I should know that, Shastra is giving me the knowledge of that unique thing, non-duality, etc. Then Shastra should also talk about the phalam also of that. Yeah, it should serve a purpose. Shastra gives a knowledge and then you ask, what is the purpose of gaining this knowledge? What will I get? Shastra says, we are sorry, we don't know. Or perhaps there is no phalam. Then we say, well, that is not the criteria. So Shastra should give a unique knowledge, and Shastra should tell you that if you gain this knowledge, this will be the result. And Shastra talks about it. Moksha, etc. Shastra gives a description of a wise person also. And how wise person is enjoying his life, that also is been told. Anyway, so phalam. And what is left? So upakrama upasamharo, abhyaso, apurvata, phalam. Then arthavada, stuti of what Whatever may be the purport, then the stuti of that should be there. Praise of that should be there, so that will be encouraged to gain that knowledge. Or else the opposite of that should be condemned. Either. That's also. And Dvaita Ninda should be there, Advaita Stuti should be there. That is there. That is there. Dvaita Ninda is lot. Yeah. Shastra also does gossip about Dvaita. If you remain Dvaitavadi, then remember capital punishment will be there for you. Yeah, mrityosya mrityum apnoti, etc. Many places, and Mundaka also is there. And everywhere this Dvaita Ninda has been talked about or Advaita Stuti is done. Therefore, that must be the purport. Not Vishishta Advaitam, Dvaitam. Shastra cannot talk about, Shastra cannot condemn of a thing for which it has a purport. If Shastra's purport is Dvaitam, and then, Shastra does a Dvaita Ninda, how it is possible? It cannot be. Anyway, so Arthavadaha Upapatti, reasoning. For Advaita Darshanam, Advaita is a purport. For that, reasoning also should be given. Everything is one alone. And that is Karya Karana Sambandha. Very beautiful. Every Shastra talks about a Srishti from Brahman. And showing that what is created is Mithya, etc. And thereby, reveals. And the example. When reasoning comes, example. And the example also are there. That Mrittika example, Mrittika eva Satyam. Right? All the vikaras are Mithya. Nama Matram. Nama Deyam. So very clearly we can understand Advaita is a purport of the Shastra. That's a part of Shravanam in which you do a Tatparya Nirnaya through this Shadlinga and arrive at. Anyway, so this is how Pramana Sambhavana obstacle gone. What is the purport of Shastra? This today also somebody asked the question. Swami, how come Ramanujacharya ji can do a mistake? How come Madhvacharya ji can do it? Really, great people, my God. Great means great. Such a great teachers. How can how come you are explaining that this is Mithya is like a mumra, and they are puffed rice, and they are not able to understand. I hope that they have understood, but they might have not, depending upon the demand of the society, or the condition, not demand, depending upon the condition of the society. They might have thought that this Ishvara's bhakti, etc. is best, therefore Dvaitam is proper. We should say like that only. Why they missed, I don't know. Or there is some issue because of which they are not ready to say that I and Krishna is one. I and Narayana is one. Well, how can you say like that? So you interpret in such a way so that the division will just remain. That's an emotional need. Many of our acharyas say that even though the greatness of acharya may be there, but greatness of intellect does not match with emotional maturity. Emotional maturity is a different thing altogether. Many great intellectual people are emotionally getting shackled, committing suicide, I have seen. I am professor, very senior professor. He could not handle the situation. He committed suicide recently in Ahmedabad. Many you will see. So intellectually great means, emotionally also great or mature. That's a different process. To initiate emotional maturity, one has to expose oneself to Shastra. That's how Pujya Swami, Vedanta and emotional maturity. So that's entirely a different thing. And if emotionally, if you are not mature, and you on a particular view, you hold on to a particular view, then you interpret in that way only. Whole thing. That's how Tattvamasi, even though so clear, They say Tasya Tvamasi. Ramanujacharya says. Because they are great people in terms of a grammar and etc. So they can Tattvam, Tat plus Tvam, right? And in the Samasa, that Tat actually is the original words. In Samasa, you have to, when you make a collapse between two words and make a Samasa, you have to take original word. So actually, Tasya Tvam, different words. When you collapse, Tasya should go back to the original word, and that is Tat. So Tat plus Tvam. So Tattvamasi. So Tasya Tvamasi. Tasya Brahmanaha Narayanasya Tvam. You belong to Narayana. See? How will he negate? Because he doesn't want. Tat means Narayana and Tvam. Asi. Clear equation. No. You are not Narayana. You belong to Narayana. Now this is I did not say today that this is an emotional issue, etc. It is not fair for us to talk about Acharya like that, but could be. Greatness of intellect means we feel that emotionally also they are great. No. It's a different thing altogether. Anyway, so here it is Arthasya Asambhavyatvam. Arthasya means I said Prameya Asambhavana, and Artha means a Prameya. So even though I have clearly understood that Upanishad teaches only Advaitam, but I have a new doubt. And so I see contradiction between Upanishad and Pratyaksham. And I tell you one thing, which is very serious. Pratyaksha reveals Dvaitam, Upanishad reveals Advaitam, and people will lean on Pratyaksha. Because Pratyaksha is very, very evident, right? And Dvaitam is evident through Pratyaksha. And our whole Vyavahara is based on Pratyaksha. So when to give weightage to one particular pramana, we give weightage to Pratyaksha. Everywhere in the world, everything is based on Pratyaksha. Entire science is based on Pratyaksha plus Anumana. That's it. In fact, science is not independent pramana. Science is dependent upon Pratyaksha. So it is very difficult to say science is a pramana. It's a very, according to us, it is not a pramana. Pramana means it should generate data independently. Eyes definitely generate data of colors and forms, and this generate data of sounds independently. So science is totally dependent upon Pratyaksha and Anumana. Science has not its own thing to generate something. It has to depend. If Pratyaksha Anumana is not there, where is science? Anyway, so my point is Pratyaksha is given weightage. And that reveals Dvaitam. So even though Upanishad talks about Advaitam, and one more thing, Upanishad says something which does not easily we can digest also. Upanishad says there is no Jagat, which is revealed by Pratyaksha. So it is actually contradicting Pratyaksha, which I can't tolerate. Because my whole life is based on Pratyaksha. And further, the daring of Shastra is, everything is Brahman. There is no Jagat, which I never see. So what I solidly experience, Shastra negates, and what I never experience is, Shastra says that is the solid thing, that is Satyam. Who will believe that? Who will believe? That is why people ask me, Swamiji, if it's so logical, lot of people will be attracted. Why they are not attracted? But how will you digest this? Brahma Satyam, which you never come across. And what you all the time experience as a solid thing, Shastra says that is not there. And therefore, people give weightage to Pratyaksha. compared to Upanishad. Who knows? Pratyaksha means it's available to me. I have not to go, I have not to verify with anybody. Upanishad talks with whom I will verify. Maybe a figment of imagination by some rishis. How will I verify what Upanishad says is right? I need not have to verify that this is a clip and green clip. I have not to ask you. Big thing. Extraordinary doubts. Extraordinary doubts. They are not ordinary doubts. And this jiva, who is experienced as a, with a birth date and everything. You see all the jivas, with the janma, maranam and these and that and with sense of limitations and all. And they say this is the jiva is mithya, etc. This is mithya. I am having birth. I have my parents. And I see where this so-and-so person dies. And you say there is no birth and death and all. And you are saying, your Bhagavan also is saying that, well, Arjuna, you and me and all these people in this Mahabharata, well, they were not there before. It is not the case. They were there from beginningless time. And they will remain in the future. For the endless time. What are you talking? They are going to be killed within this 18 days. Who will believe this? Who will believe? Nobody believes. This is Artha Sambhavet. Artha Asambhavet. Such a Brahman exists. Nobody believes. Anyway, and the third one is a Viparita Bhavana. So habitual misconception regarding myself and the world. And any habit does not die. They say from habit you remove the H. Still a bit. Still it remains a bit. If you remove A, still bit will remain. If you remove B, still it will remain. Therefore, ultimately, habit won't go. Habit won't go. That is the issue with most of our seekers. Very sincere seekers, right? But they say that, Swamiji, this Jiv Bhava does not go. Whatever we do, this fear does not go. Whatever we do, this will not go. This doesn't go. This doesn't go. This doesn't go. So habitual error also doesn't go. Anyway, these are the obstacles. Even though on the one side, I am gaining Mahavakya Shravanam, I am doing and getting clarity also, and that I am Brahman, but at the same time, these three types of obstacles are present right here, which does not allow to remove the darkness from my mind. Even though such a light is present, but it does not remove the darkness from my mind. And so, obstacle is there on the source of light. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.